We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Scherer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Back by popular demand, we've got Erica Wallace from Wallace Consulting Group.
You're going to be featuring a new app?
Yes, actually this app is coming to us from Zillow. It's called Zillow Digs, and it's an app that they've designed specifically to help people with the challenges around home improvement and design ideas. And what's different than the other apps that are in the same category, this one actually gives you cost estimates, kind of similar to that Zestimate that Zillow has. They have an estimate that's based on your location, and they use a proprietary algorithm to give you a sense of what the cost would be of materials and labor in your area.
Now, there's an interesting feature that the app has with regards to sort of comparing different configurations of rooms.
It's really neat. It's called Dueling Digs, and it basically gives you two scenarios of room layouts. So one of the questions might be, what home office you'd be most productive in, and they'll give you two different images, and you keep eliminating one. It's sort of a photograph showdown, and ultimately you end up with the winner. And it's great for people who don't have an easy time articulating what kind of design they want. It would be great to work with a designer like Kelli.
That would be Rick. Rick has a very tough time articulating what he likes.
Horrible, horrendous. And how do you download the app?
If you just go to either ZillowDigs.com or if you go to the App Store, it's only available right now for the Apple, for iPad and iPhone, and you just search Zillow Digs in the iPhone store.
Perfect. Good deal, Erica. Thanks very much.
To introduce just as we kind of plunge into the spring coming up in a few weeks, I know we're all ready for it. So I got 3 tips here. So the biggest one, this is for working inside your home, is create a focal point. A lot of times we live in a home and we kind of push everything out towards the walls. So figure out what it is in a living room. It could be a fireplace. In a dining room, it's obviously a table. And build your furnishings around that, either facing the focal point or at a 90-degree angle.
Interesting. So you're highlighting a particular asset of a particular room.
Correct.
I have a very, very tough time finding out what that particular asset in a particular room is. That's why we need people like you.
Yeah.
And that's why he's married.
It can be challenging.
Yeah.
It can be challenging, especially in a living room where sometimes the fireplace competes with the TV.
How do you go about that? Because I've seen that quite often where the focal point is the fireplace, but I really want to be able to put a TV, and it sort of takes away from the attention of the fireplace. How do you get around that?
When we stage, sometimes that we have to get the seller to give up a little of their lifestyle convenience and maybe watch their TV at a different angle in order to turn their home into a product for sale.
Sure.
So,
I've been in homes where people have put their flat screen TVs on top of the fireplace, and it looks horrible.
It can be okay if it's done right.
Could be okay.
Especially
it could be
if you
okay.
hang it.
Let's talk about painting for a second. I think this is a big one.
Painting is really a good way to start, and getting a stager involved can help pick out the appropriate colors. Lighter colors can help downplay dated finishes, maybe on the woodwork or on railings, so you can use a more neutral palette to kind of bring those down a notch. And warmer, richer tones can work better in places like dining rooms, bathrooms, and master bedrooms to kind of create an elegant or cozy feel depending on the property.
I know that we talked about this last week with regards to the fact that Cambridge is experiencing really 0.2 months of inventory, which is unheard of. And you guys have some sort of your own data on why we're seeing such a shortage of inventory.
Boston is going through a huge boom time, particularly inside of 128. We've got Kendall Square exploding with becoming the new Silicon Valley.
Right.
We've got pharma, biotech, an entire high-tech industry coming in. People need housing, and many of them want to live close to where they work.
Sure.
We also have the baby boomers who live in the suburbs who want to downsize and ideally move into the city where it's walkable and public transportation is available. In addition, we have the first-time buyers and young people who have saved for down payment, and they want to capitalize on the low interest rates. And lastly, I would say we have a very strong foreign group who want to buy a piece of American real estate. So Boston is as good as it gets, and they're coming here to buy.
Barbara and I strongly believe, even in this sort of seller's market on steroids, we'll say,
Right.
we still believe that coming on at a price that is justifiable in the comps. And if there is more value there, then the buyers will bid it up. You want to be in that sweet spot where it will bring people in. You will get offers, hopefully multiple offers, that give you the price, dates, and terms that are attractive for you as a seller.
Sure.
And also drives the price up and isn't sitting on the market for extended periods of time, especially in Boston and Cambridge and Brookline and Somerville, where we're seeing multiple offers on virtually everything.
Tell us a little bit about some of those programs that are being offered for people that do heat their home with oil, like Rick and I.
The first and foremost is the Mass Save program.
Right.
Through the public utilities, a homeowner can have a no-cost home energy assessment where a home energy specialist will come into your house, take a look at the equipment and the build of the house, and will make suggestions that you can invest in to increase the efficiency. And along with the Mass Save program, there are generous incentives for insulation and for efficient boiler and furnace replacement.
Now, Kim, based on your experience, that obviously you're on the ground, you're watching, you're seeing these various homes going up. Do you see a gap between high efficiency homes in your experience?
Yes. So just being in the energy world along with real estate, I'm working with a couple of builders who built these, brand new high performance homes. And the one problem across the board that I'm experiencing is that the lack of education in terms of how to sell energy efficient homes. And this is coming from builders straight from the builder. So for me, it's an indicator that real estate professionals, agents, lenders, inspectors, and appraisers, and everyone who's involved should learn to some capacity energy efficiencies in homes.